Now we discuss about the Android application development class, software engineering. Previous class, the starting applications are over. Today's class we discuss about the creating applications and activities, how we create the applications and different activities we can do. So in this chapter we covered the introducing Android application components and different types of applications that we can build, and understanding the Android application lifecycle, creating the application manifest file, using external resource to provide the dynamic support for locations, languages and hardware configurations, implementing and using the own application class, and creating the activities, understanding activity state diagrams, all these things. First, what makes an Android application? Here the following components comprise the building blocks of Android applications. The building blocks of Android applications are: first one is activities. Here application presentation layer we can use. Here the user interface of the application is built around the one or more extensions of activity class. Activities use the fragments and views to lay out and display the information and to respond the user action. Compared to desktop development, activities are equivalent to forms. Main activity is the user interface of the application is to be built to one or more extensions of activity class. Interface can be built by extensions of the activity class. Activities use the fragments and views to lay out the display information and to respond of the user actions. Next one is services. Here the services are, these are one building block of Android application. Here the invisible workers of your application, and service components run without the user interface. This service component can be run without the user interface only. Updating your data sources and activities, triggering notifications, broadcasting intents, notification triggering and broadcasting intents, and these are used to perform the long running tasks that are required no user interaction, such as network lookups and tasks need to continue for application like different services. For services, user interface is not required interlinking with. Next one is content provider. Here content provider is nothing but it is shareable persistent data storage. Content providers manage and persistent application data and typically interact with the SQL database. Content provider interact with the SQL database. They are also preferred means to share the data across the application boundaries. Here these are shared data across the application boundaries, and here you can configure the application content providers to allow access from the other application, and you can access the content providers exposed by the others. Here Android devices include the several native content providers that expose the useful databases such as the media store and contacts. Here you will learn how to create and use content providers afterwards. Mainly content providers message and precise application data typically interact with the SQL database. There are also preferred means to share data across the application boundaries. Here it will allow access to the other applications and access the content providers exposed by the others. These are many functions of the content providers. Next one is intents. Here powerful inter-application message passing framework is a This is a message passing one. Intents are the user extensively throughout the Android. You can use the intent to start and stop the activities and services. Intent is we can use for starting applications, stopping the applications, broadcast the messages system wide explicitly activity, broadcast receiver request to an action performed by a particular piece of data. Like starting stopping applications intent. Next one is broadcast receivers. These are some building block. Here intent listener. Broadcast receiver enables your application to listen for intent that match the criteria you can specify. Broadcast receiver start your application to react with the any received intent, making them perfect for creating event-driven applications. Broadcast receivers are covered with intents in chapter 5. Next one is widgets. Visual application components, they are typically added to the device for home screen. Here a special variation of the broadcast receiver. Widgets are enable you to create the dynamic. Here widgets are enabled to create the dynamic interactive application components for users to embed it to their home screen. Here you will learn how to create your own widgets, all these things. Next one is notifications. Here notification enable you to alert users to application events without the stealing focus or interrupting their current activity. These are preferred technique for getting user attention when the application is not visible for active particularly when within the service or broadcast receiver. Notification nothing but it enable alert to user application events without the stealing focus or interrupting the current activity. The notification nothing but sending alert for notification. These are the preferred technique for getting the user attention when your application is not visible or active. Next one is like this building blocks are completed. Next is introducing application manifest file. What is manifest file application? Here Android project include the manifest file, but Android manifest.xml file stored in the root of the project hierarchy. Manifest define the structure and metadata of application. Structure and metadata of application, its component and its requirements. It includes the node for each activities, services and content providers. This manifest file include the services, components, include the activities, services, content providers. Activities, services, content providers and broadcast receivers make up the application. Using the intent filters, permissions determine how they interact with each other with other applications. Here manifest file, all this how these are interact with the interaction, all interaction can be done in the manifest file. Manifest can also specify the application metadata such as icon, version number, theme, additional top level nodes required to permission, unit test, define the hardware, screen, platform requirements, all these things. Manifest file is made up of the root of a manifest tag with the package attribute set to project package. It also includes the XML and Android attribute, supplies the system attribute used within the file. Use the version code attribute, define the current application version, and integer increases the each version iteration, version name, attribute specify the public version depend upon the users. Here you can also specify whether allow your application to be installed on the external storage your SD card rather than the internal storage. Install location attribute. Here there are some applications for which the installation and external storage is not appropriate due to the consequence of the unmounting, ejecting external storage or including. Here the applications with widgets, live wallpapers, live folders are there. Application and ongoing services are there. Input method engines, device administrators, like different applications are there installed on the external storage. Application installed on the internal storage and users won't be able to move to the external storage. Here the applications only installed on the internal storage, you cannot install on the external storage. Like applications are applications with widget, live wallpapers, live folders. These only are installed on the internal storage only. Next, applications and ongoing services. And input method engines. Input method engines also, if it can be installed on the SD card, it cannot be run. And device administrator, it is only on the internal memory only, not external memory. It is associated with the artificial capabilities, all these things. Like a main. Next, closer look at the application manifest. In the following XML snippet shows the typical manifest code. Manifest coding is nothing but open column manifest. Here the package, Android version name, Android location, and closing manifest. A manifest tag include the nodes, define the application components, security settings, list of summaries available, and manifest subnode, XML snippet. What is one different tags can be used? Uses SDK tag. It enables to define the maximum and minimum SDK version. Target SDK version attribute also available. Here uses SDK can be used and uses configuration file can be used. In the configuration file we can use a request 5-way navigation, request hard keyword, request keyboard type, request navigation, request touch screen, all these things. Coding between the for coding we can use all these files. Request 5-way navigation specifies true if attribute it requires the input device ability navigation for navigation. This one. Request hard keyword requires the hard keyword to specify the true. Keyboard or keyboard one. Request keyboard type. Here keyboard type is one of no keys, QWERTY, 12 key, and undefined, all these things. QWERTY keyboard one. For keyboard we use this one. Next one is required navigation, like one of the value, no navigation, D-pad, trackball, all these things. Next one is required touch screen. Select one of no touch, stylus, finger, all these things. This is the user configuration file. Next, previously uses SDK is over, minimum SDK version, maximum SDK version, Android SDK version, this one. In the configuration, we can use all this. This can be used as a use configuration, and then Android dot request, Android colon request hard keyboard equal to true and semicolons, and request keyboard type equal to QWERTY semicolons, touchscreen equal to finger semicolons, request navigation equal to trackball like semicolon, hard keyboard equal to true semicolon. Like representation is like this. Next one is user features. What are different features in the Android? Here features can be coding like a uses feature Android name equal to Android hardware.nfc. Features are like audio, Bluetooth, and camera, location, microphone, NFC, sensors, telephone, touchscreen, USB, Wi-Fi. Different features. Audio is nothing but low latency audio pipeline. Time of writing the book, and Android devices satisfy the requirement. For this audio, it require audio pipeline, and Bluetooth radio is required for this one. Camera, it requires for camera, and autofocus, flash, all this front facing camera, all these are required for this camera. And location, require the location based services, specify either network or GPS support explicitly. Microphone, it requires the audio input. NFC, requires NFC near field communication support. Sensors, enables you to specify the requirement for any potential available hardware sensors. Telephony can be either GSM or CDMA can be required. Specific telephonic radio. Touchscreen, specify the touchscreen that required application requires. USB, it requires either USB host or accessibility mode support. Wi-Fi network support can be required for this one. For this one, coding can be user feature Android name, Android hardware.microphone, Android required equal to false, like this one coding. And next one is user feature Android name equal to Android hardware.camera. Next one, Android hardware.camera.autofocus required, like coding will be there. Next one is support screens. Your support screens Android devices are limited to 3.2 HVDA hardware. Here the screens are like three different types of screens. First one is small screen with resolution smaller than traditional HVGA. Typically QVGA screens are there. Small screen nothing but QVGA. Next one is normal screens. You specify the mobile phone screens at least HVGA, including WVGA and WQVGA. Here 3.2 inches is HVGA hardware, 2.55 inches is QVGA, 10.1 inches tablets, 42 inches HD televisions. And next one is large screens. Large screen is screen larger than the normal. In this instance, large screen is considered as a significantly larger than the mobile phone display. X large is typically larger than the tablet devices. Typically tablet devices. Next one is requires smallest width. DP enables to specify the minimum supported screen width in device independent pixels. Next one is compatible width limit. DP specify the upper bound beyond which application may not scale. Next one is largest width limit. DP specifies the absolute upper bound beyond which no application will not scale appropriately. Next one is support GL texture. It declares the application to be capable of providing the texture assets compressed using the particular GL texture compressing format, text compressing format. Multiple support GL texture elements can be used for this one. Next one is user permissions. For security, user permissions will be there, and then permissions will be there, permission components, and then instrumentation, application, activities, all these things are there. Services are there, providers are there, receivers, user library, all these are there. Next one is using manifest editor. Using manifest editor, here Android development tool plugin include the manifest editor is there. So you don't have manipulate underlying XML directly. Here for the editor, some screen is there, Android manifest editor. Here we use the manifest editor in Eclipse. For this one we can use the Eclipse. Right click on the Android manifest XML file project folder and select the open with Android manifest editor. It presents the Android manifest overview screen shown in figure 3.1. Here the figure is there, Android manifest figure. Screen gives the high level view of application structure, enables you to set the application version. Here include the user SDK features and provides a shortcut to application permission, instrumentation, XML screens. Here the manifest file contains package and version code and version name, manifest extras, all these things. Here the application attributes are there. Each of the three tabs contain visual interface for managing application security and instrumentation settings. Access the underlying XML. The next figure we can see the manage the application node, application component hierarchy. Specify the application components. Here the application attributes are there, like name, theme, label, icon, logo, description, permission, all these things. Here you can specify the application attributes including icon, label, theme, all these things. Next, externalize the resources are there, and creating resources. This we will discuss in the next class. Next class we discuss about the externalizing resources, creating resources, style and themes, drawable layouts, animations, resources, creating resources, runtime configuration files, introducing Android application class. All these are there. Subscribe to my channel Technology Education by PVK.